Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel and to a brand new episode of Speaking Saturdays. So let's begin. Part 1. Do you like water sports? I've never tried any water sports, so I don't have an opinion either way. I mean, they look cool, they look interesting. I mean, like, rafting and then things like that. But in general, I don't know, it also looks kind of dangerous, right? Because yeah, of course, people love saying, "Oh, the human body floats in water. There's nothing risky." But I don't like to take chances. I mean, I'm equal parts fascinated and afraid. Whenever I think of water sports, I just think that looks interesting, exhilarating, but also very scary at the same time. Have you ever done any water sports? No, I don't even know how to swim. And I know that sounds very strange, especially as someone who lives in a coastal city. You'd think that, yeah, of course, you'd know how to swim, but no, I don't. Because I've never been able to, put my head underwater, for example. Always just scared of, I don't know, I'm like actually afraid of water, like deep water. So the idea of doing water sports, like I said, I find it interesting at the same time. I feel like you should conquer your fear, but it's also like, I don't want to take a risk with my life or safety. I don't know. I mean, at some point I might try. Like I hear of people who've done like scuba diving and things like that, and I'm like, wow, that is like, because you look at like videos of like the ocean and sea and whatever, and it's also beautiful down there. It really is beautiful, but at the same time I think, there's water all around you. What if you drown? What if you die? I don't know. It's very, very, very scary. Would you like to do a water sport? Yeah, I mean, I would like to. I wouldn't say that I'm not interested at all. I do feel like it's exhilarating. It's obviously it's adventurous. That's why people do it, right? And I would like to, but then I don't know, like if I had the opportunity right in front of me, I would be hesitant because I'm kind of a risk averse person. I don't like taking risks, and I'm kind of a scaredy cat. So I would like to like try something, but only if it was like very, very safe. If I had a lot of people around me, if I had like, whatever, life jackets and, ropes and whatever, if it was like super, super safe, if there was no risk whatsoever, then I definitely love to try because I would just like to mitigate risk as much as possible. Are water sports popular in your country? I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, sports in general, people, I mean, it's not really a part of local culture. So, I mean, there are some people who do it, but that's like a niche. It's not really most people who even sports in general, people here don't really care so much about sports, except for, of course, the younger generation. They're very much into all these things like baseball, basketball, even like pretty much anything that's popular these days. So yeah, some people do like it, but I wouldn't go so far as to say that motorsports are popular. Yeah, there's a small section of people that enjoy doing that, but it's not really something that you hear about regularly. Not really, no. Okay, let me go on to part 2. And here's our question. Describe a game you played in your childhood. You should say what the game was, where you played it, who you played it with, and explain how you felt about the game. Okay, well, I guess you must have heard of this. I mean, every kid plays this, so it's not something very unique or rare. It's just good old hide and seek. And for me, this was one of my favorite games, playing hide and seek. I loved it also because, it's just like what you do in hide and seek is you have one person and you need a big group, otherwise it's not fun. If you have like three people or whatever, it's not fun at all. So you definitely need a big group to play hide and seek because you have one person and that person has to close their eyes and they have to count to like, I don't know, 30 or 60 or something like that. And everyone else, they have to find a place to hide. And so That's pretty much it. And then the person has to go and like find everyone. And the person who doesn't get found wins. And I've always enjoyed, things like that. Even though like I still remember like we didn't have a lot of places to hide. But I remember there was this one time when I was in school and we had recess, so we were playing outside, and we had, of course, it was like pretty much the entire classroom, so we had a lot of students. Now, I'm very like I'll choose a safe place to hide, but nothing crazy. But we had a few people who were very like daring, and they said, "Let's hide under the school bus." And I was like, "Are you crazy? Are you out of your mind? I would never." So I'm like, "No, I'm not going to do that. You can do that if you want to. Good luck with that. Go ahead." And so they did. They hid under the school bus. And I was thinking all this time, wow, that is just crazy, because anything could happen. Of course, the bus wasn't like it was parked, but still, like I couldn't imagine. And I probably just hid behind some. We had like seesaws and we had this huge slide and things like that. So I don't remember where I hid, maybe behind a wall or something like that. But anyway, they so they have some weird ideas about where to hide. But kids, and again, smaller bodies, so you can pretty much hide anywhere. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I miss like playing all these games and stuff. As an adult, of course, it's impossible. But once we'd I think maybe when I was, I don't know, 9 or 10, I'd invited a few friends home, and they had this idea. Okay, let's play hide and seek at home. And like, where are you gonna hide? I mean, there's not that many places to hide at home, right? Like we have like balconies and stuff like that. So anyway, this one person, I was in search. I was the one who was gonna, find everyone. And so this one person, well, this one child, friend of mine, he hid himself under the bed. And I was like, what? How did you get in there? Like, I would never think of hiding under the bed. Because again, I'd be scared, like, oh, what if I cannot get out? But well, he was skinny, so maybe that's why he. But yeah, that was so crazy. Like, I would never do that. That's like way too risky. Anyway, let's go on to part three. What kind of games do kids like to play now? Well, I have no idea because I don't really talk to kids. Again, I'm an adult, so how would I know? I don't think, do kids even play outside? Because I haven't really seen kids doing that. Like back in my day, when I was a child, we used to play outside for 3 4 hours every day. We were outside a lot. So but now, of course, I don't know, I think most kids are just on their phones. They have all these gaming, like you have gaming phones and computers and things like that. So I think their games are actually online on their computer or on the internet, on their cell phone even. Like that sounds crazy to me, to play games on your cell phone, like actual, not just like Snake or something, but actual games. But yeah, I think most kids, they don't really get out much. Their games are all virtual, all online. Do boys and girls play different games? I don't. Yeah, actually, what? I think so, because whenever I read something online about gaming, or a new gaming phone has been released or whatever, it's usually boys that are like into, like, I don't know the names of games, but you have things like Call of Duty and I don't know, Clash of Clans. I don't know. There's a lot of games. I'm not into gaming, so I don't care about that stuff. But like anytime there's a discussion about like online gaming, at least, it's mainly dominated by boys, isn't it? And you don't really like, even when I was a child and I played games online, it was like dress up games and IMVU and The Sims and stuff like that. I still love The Sims. And I think, but if you're talking about like real life games, then I don't think there's that much of a difference. Although I do think that boys might be more likely to play, I don't know, like contact sports as games, or they might, I don't know, like you have, there's this game, it's called the tug of war. So I think, I guess boys might be into that, but I don't know. I don't really know. Like, at least when I was a child, I didn't see any differences in terms of gender. Are outdoor sports important for kids? Yes, exactly. They're so important. We don't actually have a sporting culture where I live, which is sad because the human body was designed to move. And if you're not moving, well, it's going to cause a lot of health problems. So we're designed to be flexible, we're designed to keep moving, and what's really sad, especially now, of course, is computers and phones have become such a big part of our lives that we spend a lot of time on them, right? And like I said, I don't actually see kids playing outside like I did 20, 25 years ago when I was a child. So, yeah, I mean, they're important because you get to actually, and a lot of people complain that kids are hyperactive and things like that. The thing is, they just need to get all of that energy. They have a lot of energy, so they just need to get that energy out, and sports are a great way to help them do that. And especially for young children, they help to build hand-eye coordination and, all of these things that you need to be able to, use your fingers, your hands, you need to balance your gait. All of that is also important. So it's a part of your development. It's not just oh, games. Like, a lot of people think that, playing a sport is just like, you're just passing the time for fun, but it's really not. It's actually a very good, fun form of exercise. Which is better, individual games or team-based games? I think team-based games are always more fun. I mean, playing a game alone is kind of boring personally to me. Unless you're talking about something like The Sims, but that's like a different type of game altogether. But it's always a lot of fun, right? Because, like, even if it's like, let's say, but I mean, this is like regardless of whether it's online or offline. Both types, I would always prefer to have someone to play with, rather than just playing alone, because that can get a bit boring, right? I just don't see how, like, when I think of the word game, my first reaction, like the first image that pops up in my mind, is always a few people doing something together. So, like, for me, the word game itself is associated with something you do with other people. Of course, I know there are individual solo, player games. And I do play, like I said, I play The Sims maybe like once in a blue moon. But it's not really a game. It's like, I don't know how to explain it. It's a different thing entirely. It's like, building a home and, doing all these things. So that's different. But yeah, I think it's a lot more fun. And again, there's also a little bit of the element of competition. I would say I'm a very competitive person, and I love, like, when you play a game where you have to, like, win something or win points even. Like, I really get excited. So yeah. All right, well, that's it for today. But don't forget, we have tons of videos, so go and check them out. And while you're still here, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel. And we have a lot more videos planned, so don't forget to check in. And in case you have anything you'd like to share, leave a comment down below and I'll get back to you. Until then, bye-bye.